Everton got a deserved point, but are Liverpool feeling the pressure in the title race? It finished 0-0 in the Merseyside Derby. Here's our post-match review. Well, Imdaad, it finished goalless, as I say, but a good game, I thought. What do you make of it?
Yeah, from a neutral perspective, it was a good game. There was no goals in it, but I thought in the end it was a good game.
Yeah, definitely. First off, there wasn't many chances, but it started off at a frantic pace, didn't it?
Yeah, it started off. It wasn't all action. There was obviously in the first half, we was talking about earlier on, weren't many chances in the game. It was mainly blocks.
Plenty of tackles going. It felt like a proper derby. You know, a bit of a throwback, really. I mean, some derbys take a while to get into things, but a few tackles flying in and interceptions, and the crowd seemed really up for it. I mean, obviously we're watching it on TV, but the crowd were really up for it, and the atmosphere sounded really good.
Yeah, and I felt today Everton were more up for it than Liverpool. I know I shouldn't, it should be Liverpool because they were the favourites, especially after City won yesterday. You felt like they had to win today.
Yeah.
Now, having said that, we knew it was going to be a tough game for them, but I just felt like Everton had more of a desire and more of energy to.
I think they played off the crowd a bit more.
They were the home team, but I just felt like Liverpool could have given more. Yeah. But I was very impressed by Everton today, I must say, because I genuinely thought Liverpool would have won about 2-0. But so I mean, first half, like you said, we had Salah had a couple of chances.
Yeah.
And you would have thought he'd scored, wouldn't you?
Yeah. Well, the first one was more of a half chance where you got the ball on the right hand side of the penalty area, and twisted into the past Digne, the Everton left back, and decent attempt, but unfortunately for him, it was just straight out there. Pickford didn't quite aim it at the far post, but that was a good bit of play. So Salah outside the box, especially in the first half, looked a real threat. He's due a goal here today. He seems really up for it. But the second half, he just faded a little bit, didn't he? But that second chance, that was one of the big chances in the game, wasn't it? Everton lost it in midfield, and then the Salah was through.
Yeah, they were lucky to have that second Salah chance, and I genuinely thought he would have scored.
Would you put it down to a bad touch?
No. I know it happens. It happens to all big players. They don't always score. Yeah. But for someone of this, for someone like Salah, especially was on his left foot as well, it could have been down to a bad touch. But I just felt like he should have scored. And they knew. I felt like they needed to be more clinical because there weren't many chances in the end. And that's where you go back to the chances where they should have taken, and I felt like, I was a bit disappointed with Salah, even though I'm not a Liverpool fan, but I just felt like he should have just scored. Yeah, I don't know what you thought of it.
Yeah, I think Liverpool around that time, so that was about nearly on the half hour mark, that chance. So they were starting to grow into the game in the first 10 minutes or so. Everton were on top, you have to say. Didn't create any chances, but had more of the play, and were, as I say, making blocks, making interceptions, and so on, and not letting Liverpool play rather. But Liverpool started to get a foothold in the game at that point. Schneiderlin miscontrolled it in midfield, and then Digne was further forward where he shouldn't have been that forward on the halfway line. That's why they were spacing behind for Salah. I just think his first touch was decent. The second touch, if you're on the right hand side, he's left footed, you need to cut it in a little bit more, didn't you? And then open the angle up. But Pickford done well, I have to say.
Yeah, would you say good save, or would you say bad finish?
I think the attempt was okay, but I think it was the touch before that was more the issue. If he had a better angle on the shot, he could have curled it to the far post, or maybe just whipped it in the near post. He only had sort of one option really, Salah, after that touch. But Pickford, he stayed up, and he done well from that moment.
Yeah, and I felt, I felt Everton didn't allow Liverpool to create chances. You know, I felt they kept the intensity high, and they actually pressed Liverpool.
Yeah.
Didn't allow Liverpool to play from the back. Didn't allow them to pass the ball and settle in a rhythm, and that's what made it more difficult for them.
It was especially in the second half. It was hard for Liverpool to get the ball in midfield. I mean, that's why the front three hardly had any, not as much service as they usually do.
Yeah.
I mean, Everton didn't have many chances in that first half. The only one they really had was it was a half chance with Theo Walcott, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Which he sliced wide. I mean, he's a player not high on confidence. We mentioned that during the game, didn't we? And if he had his Arsenal shirt on a few years ago, he would have drove into the box and fired it across goal. But you know, I think that just summed up his game. He was pretty poor, wasn't he? I thought today Walcott no surprise he got subbed off for Richarlison in the second half.
That wasn't a surprise, wasn't it?
No.
And obviously we got into the second half. We thought, well, Liverpool could pick up, you know, and maybe create more chances and really go for it. I just didn't feel like they went for it. I mean, did you actually expect Liverpool to do more in that second half?
Yeah, I felt so. I mean, they still had a couple of chances, but you know, it was similar to the Man United game last Sunday. I mean, they created more today than they did in that game, but even so, you felt like, where's the juggernaut? Where's the ferocious high press, creating plenty of chances like they did midweek against Watford? They blew Watford away. Yeah, it didn't happen today. But I have to say, Everton, as much as Liverpool will need to work on creating more chances in certain games like today, I think Everton's defence were pretty decent, I have to say. I mean, under Marco Silva, he's not really known for his defensive capabilities as a coach, but I think the back four as a whole played pretty well. I mean, Seamus Coleman's getting back to not to his best from a few seasons ago, but he's getting there. So surely, and the defensive centre back pairing of Keane and Zuma. They've had their critics this season, and rightly so. But I thought they were really good today. And Everton have got a really poor record of conceding from set pieces, haven't they? But they won the headers, and Liverpool pretty good at set pieces. Yeah. But Everton defended well from them.
Defensive point of view, I think both teams as well, like you mentioned, Zuma and Keane, and the whole back four as well. Yeah. Liverpool, I know you said during the game, Van Dijk, he's a beast, isn't it?
He was a brick wall today, and not surprisingly, man of the match.
Not surprisingly, no. It just makes it look so easy.
He does. I mean, his positioning was awesome. I mean, he put a tackle in on Bernard, which was incredible. I mean, like Bernard looked like he was going to weave through or maybe
get a
play in. I think Richarlison or one of the other attackers, and he just stopped him in his track. Like, there's the ball, not like sliding. A bit like Rio Ferdinand was, where like you always got the position right and just made a tackle. Like, wasn't frantic last ditch or anything. No, he just made it. Matip was good alongside him today. Matip made a few runs forward, which he did for Salah's second big chance. Matip ran through the midfield, and he ended up with Salah. But his touch was a little bit heavy, and that allowed Michael Keane to get a good tackle in.
That was a good slide tackle. It was last year's tackle. I mean, defensively, both teams were good. You could argue Liverpool had the better players, and therefore should have created more chances. Were they lacking that creativity today? Yes, I do think so.
Especially in central midfield. But I have to question Klopp's substitutions today, because I don't think you need, especially in that second half, Liverpool need to get the goal, don't they? Do you need to play three central midfielders?
You said that, didn't you? Halfway through the game. And you said it would have been better to play 4-2-3-1.
Yeah, well, you don't need three central midfielders. I mean, they started with Wijnaldum, Henderson, and Fabinho, and took off Wijnaldum and then put Milner on. So it's a like for like. And when they put Lallana on for Mane, he played as in the front three. I mean, Shaqiri didn't come on at all, which I found really surprising. I just would have felt Klopp would have gone for it a bit more.
I mean, we talked about it just before half time in terms of if he does change the formation, which at some point he would have had to, but he didn't in the end. When they needed a goal, and they needed a goal today, they needed to win, and I just felt with all those players on the bench, you've got Sturridge. At the time, you had Firmino, which he came on in the end. He had a few touches, didn't do much in the end.
No.
Shaqiri.
Use him. Didn't come on at all, which I found really surprising.
I was very, very surprised. And leave 2 midfielders.
Yeah.
Get. I think 3 points is better than just 1.
Yeah, especially as they drew last week at Man United. I mean, look, at the end of the day, it's 2 draws.
Isn't bad.
In the grand scheme of things. But I think draws potentially could harm Liverpool's race for the title because, they've only lost 1 game, which is against Man City. But in the 08-09 season where, Liverpool had Torres, Gerrard, and so on, they only lost 2 games that season. And that was the old Rafa Benitez facts, press conference, the infamous one.
Yeah.
And United won it by, I think, 4 points in the end. But Liverpool lost 2 games, but they drew, I think, 11 games.
Yeah.
So it's about getting the points on the board.
Yeah. You have to win everything. You have to get as many points as you can. I mean, I'd rather lose a game, but win 2 rather than just draw 2 and win 1 because you still get more points by winning, more games if you like. I suppose the way I look at it, if you there's 3 games for example, and you draw 2 and you win 1, you get 5 points, rather than if you lose 1 and win 2, you still get 6 points.
It's about getting it's the wins are the important
it's
thing.
The most important thing.
I mean, Man City in this past week, they won. They only got 1 goal against West Ham, which looked like a dodgy penalty, but they got the win. And then yesterday, 1-0 against Bournemouth.
Yeah,
they're grinding out the wins, and Liverpool need to start doing that because. Although saying that, the draws they've had, 3 of them have been away. Like they drew away at West Ham, away at Man United last week, and away at Everton today.
Yeah.
But they just need to grind out and get the wins.
Do you think Liverpool fading away now? Do you think the pressure's getting to them?
I was going to ask you that. Are they feeling the pressure? I'm not sure. I mean, I don't think they played badly. It's not like they're throwing it away. It's not like they lost today. But as I said, these draws are starting to build up now. But they haven't won the league for a number of years, have they? So I think they're bound to feel the pressure. But it's not going to be easy for City. There's 9 games there. For City, only 1 point ahead. There's plenty of time, plenty of twists and turns. So plenty of time to go.
Plenty of times for Liverpool to drop more points. I just felt today that they didn't play with full confidence.
Yeah.
Whether that's whether it's because it's a derby game, and naturally speaking, obviously it's Everton. I was disappointed. I just felt like they should have created more chances. And where I thought they lacked in midfield, where they had Henderson, obviously Fabinho and Wijnaldum, they're not really creative players.
No, and that's what surprised me, that Klopp in the second half didn't leave just 2 of them, and then maybe put Lallana on in further foot, in an attacking. Number 10, he played out wide, but I'm still surprised they didn't bring Shaqiri on at all.
Especially with Shaqiri, in the past, have played. He's
come off the bench and done well. Yeah, I'm surprised at that.
And he scored a few goals at Everton as well. You would have thought he would, he'd come in and maybe create a chance or 2. Salah wasn't at his best today. Let's face it. But you weren't.
No, but nor was Mane.
Yeah, there weren't. Firmino came on as well. He didn't really, he wasn't really.
A couple of loose touches as well. But I think from an Everton perspective, I think the win midweek against Cardiff has helped them with a bit of a sticky spell. I think Marco Silva needed that today because I think. I think his team have shown today they can grind out defensive display. Because Silva's not known for that as a manager in his time in England, especially from set pieces where they look pretty solid in open play and from corners and free kicks as well. So I think they definitely deserved the draw at Anfield, and you have to say they deserved it today.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll have to. Obviously, it was good. Having said all of that, I just felt both teams went for it. And they just didn't lack their sort of creativity. They lacked their sort of clinical touch. Liverpool had more. Let's face it, they had more chances, if you like. Didn't finish it.
But Everton looked a threat. No,
they
we
did,
got plenty of crosses, especially when Richarlison come on.
Yeah,
he looked a real threat down the right. I mean, we gave Robertson a few problems. A couple of great crosses. Didn't quite lead to anything, but yeah, I think Everton could be really pleased with their performance.
I think for them it's more of a win, isn't it, than for Liverpool at the moment. But yeah, would Liverpool look back and think, oh, should we be kicking ourselves? I think it all started.
Time will tell, I think.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, like you said, there's many more games to go, so it's still, it's not. We're not at a later stage yet. We are entering the final third of the season, if you like.
Yeah.
But winning the league, like you said with City, there's grinding out those 1-0s is what's going to make you win the league, and I'm not seeing that at Liverpool.
No, we're still a few games left. We'll see what happens.
Exactly.
Well, thanks, Imdaad, for joining us. We'll see you next time.
No problem at all.
Thanks a lot. Right, well, thanks everyone for watching this. Please subscribe to our channel, follow us on Twitter, and like us on Facebook. We'll see you soon. Take care. Bye.
Bye.